Yes, people, you're back. It's your boy Dougie Fresh, and we are here to discuss another game, another L. It's Arsenal versus Manchester City, and yeah, the result today was 1-0 to the City. They came true. They came through and done the inevitable and walked away with a heist of 3 points in their bag from a trip to the Emirates, which is becoming somewhat routine. Going into this game, I spoke to a few fans, I've watched a few other people's opinions on the timeline, on YouTube, and I feel like a lot of people were condemning Arsenal from the jump. We know how good Man City have been. They're on this incredible unbeaten run, and I think we all just assumed that we would get rolled over. And, you know, in this instant, I don't feel like we did. I went in there, I guess I was praying for the best and hoping for the best, but I kind of expected the worst. I do actually feel from watching the game and on reflection that there was an opportunity there for us to walk away with a point. In the end of the second half, I felt like we looked pretty strong. We started to really exploit them with Tierney on the left, and it was evident that we've missed him for so long. He just offers something that Bellerin doesn't really do too much on the right-hand side, and Cedric, because of his deficiencies with being a right-footed player, can't do on that wing either. But he was getting behind, he was crossing in. I feel like from when we first signed Tierney, I looked at him and I thought his crossing was impeccable every time he picked out a man. Invariably, he doesn't do that as much now, and I don't know why that is. And I've got a bit of a point to make on that as we kind of go through the match review. But we'll start from the start, and that was an early goal conceded. A player of Sterling's height, who's not too much taller or smaller than me, around a similar height. I think it's like 5'7", 5'8". And he's out there winning headers in the box, and you just can't allow a player of that size to get a free header in the opposition box at any point of the game. But you could see that obviously a lot of changes were made. Tierney, Holding and Murray, who all haven't played for a little while. And I think, yeah, they were just adjusting to the tempo of the game, and we got hit cold, and it is what it is. I know I've seen a lot of blame on Holding. I think Bellerin possibly is somewhat at fault. I feel like he lets the run of Sterling go and try to pass him on to Holding. But Sterling, everyone knows he's actually one of my favourite players, and he did his thing. It was his movement, he saw the opportunity and he got the ball, he dropped behind. He didn't try and compete with Holding for the header. He waited for the ball to come to him at a distance where Holding was ineffectual. So I'm not going to turf out the lads for that because it happens, but when you do make them kind of mistakes so early on in the game, you're setting yourself up for disaster. And invariably that is what happened. There were some other little kind of key moments in the game that I thought were interesting. I thought Tierney, as good as it is to see, and he always puts in a 10 out of 10 in terms of passion and effort, I thought at times he was getting to the end and the byline and getting past players and just not really putting the right ball in. I saw a stat that we had 13 crosses into the box today compared to their 6, which as a team, and this is why I've always had a bit of a beef with Aubameyang in the middle, if you're going to be a team that wants to play so many crosses and cutbacks, you need players in the centre forward area who are going to benefit from that. I said in a previous video, I thought Giroud would have been an excellent player in this system because he's so good at linking up, holding up, and he's dangerous in the box at any position, whether it's a header in or if he's doing up scorpio kicks and acrobatics in the field. He gets it done, and I feel like Aubameyang doesn't quite do that hold-up play to the level that we needed, and that was why I feel like we faltered in the first half. A lot of opportunities were coming through to him, and he just don't seem to be able to hold up the ball as well as other players do. And, you know, it's a little bit frustrating to watch, and that's why I like Lacazette up top. And I think when he came on, you did notice the difference. He draws free kicks, he gets you in the right areas, and he does a lot of the donkey work that, you know, Aubameyang just doesn't seem to have the nous to do. So yeah, that was kind of how I saw the game. A lot of people were screwing and moaning about the lineup, El Neni starting. I thought El Neni was calm. You know what you're going to get from him. You're never going to get a dynamic performance going up, down, box to box, but he screens well, he puts in a lot of effort, and against a team like Man City, we felt that clearly if we stayed in the game until the 60th, 70th minute, then potentially we can throw on Ceballos and get certain kicking in a more attacking sense. And Arteta maybe made them substitutions a little bit late today, which is maybe a criticism that I will throw at him. But we tried, we failed, and now it's straight on to Benfica. But I'm just going to briefly go through the player ratings as I like to dive in. Leno, he's looking good. There's no errors there really. He wasn't at fault for the goal. He made a good save over to his left, which he did really well to telegraph. I think it was Gundogan or Bernardo Silva. I can't remember which one it was, but he struck it, got down, and made that happen. So I'm going to give Leno a 6. Right back, Bellerin. I'm trying every day. I sit at this table and I defend him, and he's just really having a bad run of form at the moment. I think at the start of the season he was looking good, but he seems to just have lost his pace, his confidence in his body, I think, has gone, and yet he's starting to look a bit of a liability on the right, and we almost wish that we had a Tierney-like figure on the right. If we get any cloning thing going on, some Dolly the Sheep business, maybe we can clone Tierney and put him on the right as well. But at the moment, Bellerin's not giving me enough for me to kind of give him his props and try and defend him. So I'm going to give Bellerin a 5 today. In the middle, I'm actually going to say this guy was maybe my man of the match today. His performances do tend to go unnoticed, and I think it's because he's not that glamorous player. But Holding, I thought, on the ball, he's very good at bringing the ball out from the back. He kind of reminds me of Maguire in his Leicester days in that form, in that he gets it. But what I've noticed that he's very good at is he knows how to shift his body and change direction to open up the pitch, and he does it quite successfully, but it goes very much under the radar. And I thought, yeah, he was decent today. He's going to probably get one of my higher ratings, so I'm going to give him a 7, despite obviously the initial mistake in the first 2 minutes. But back on the team sheet, Holding, you done your little thing today, so yeah, 7 for Holding. Mari as well, I think he's just calm, cool, collected. He does a similar thing. I think they're both very similar players in that they don't command the excellence and or the accolades that maybe Gabriel does and Luis, because they're a little bit more flamboyant. But yeah, he did a decent job today. It's a very difficult team to play against, especially with no recognised strikers, so you don't know who to pick up and when, because they're all so interchangeable and their formation is fluid. It flows like water. So yeah, I'm going to give Mari a 6 today. Tierney, despite all his best efforts, I think he tried really hard. He got knackered at the end of the game, just come back from an injury. Very, very, very big baptism of fire for Tierney today, but I thought he did okay, so I'm going to give him a humble 6. In the midfield, Elneny, again, nothing spectacular, just a bog standard performance, really and truly, but he did what he was put in the team to do, and if a man does his job, you have to rate him on the job that he's been put in there to do, and I feel like he did okay, so I'm going to just give him a 6 as well. Bare 6s flying around, it's 6 God season, but I think, yeah, 6 for Elneny, and potentially even a 6 for Xhaka as well. I thought he was the better of the two. I think when he plays with Elneny, he looks a little bit more expansive and he puts a lot more forward balls through. I saw him pick out some excellent passes at times. When he's got maybe a Partey or a Ceballos next to him, I think his role changes slightly, but I thought he was okay. Nothing spectacular though, so a 6 for Xhaka. Going on to, we had Pepe on the right today. He definitely is a left-sided player to me. On the right, he's so predictable, and I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like his relationship with Bellerin is not fantastic. They don't seem to have that chem for them FUT players out there. The chemistry's not really there, and at times I just feel like he just passes the ball straight back. He doesn't seem as ready to jink and jive and get forward that he does when he's on the left. So I'm going to give Pepe a 6 as well. As I said, they're 6s. Odegaard, I like him as a player. I can see a player in there. I can definitely feel what he's going to do for us going forward, and he's a great option to have. However, he just doesn't seem like he's settled yet, and we have to give players time. We're giving Pepe like 18 months now, and he's only just starting to show signs of what he's made of. So Odegaard, 3rd start in a row. He needs to just get that relationship with his team, because even Saka went through, didn't put him in when he really, really should have. and I feel like he's struggling with that. He just doesn't look like he's got the confidence to command the ball like he would at maybe a Sociedad. So I think, yeah, just a little bit of mental development there, growing to the role, but I don't really have any issues. Just was a bit of a nonchalant performance when most of his time was spent just kind of trying to tell players where to be and hold that positional sense in the press. So I'm going to give Odegaard a 5 today. Saka, decent again. I never really have too many issues with him, but no real noteworthy point where I was like, yes, yeah, this is the saviour today, and that moment just didn't come. He had a good shot when he just jinked in and he looked dangerous, but yeah, I think I'm going to give him a 6. And then up top, you had Aubameyang, who's really frustrating me now. Like, it's getting to a point where the fan base called out for this brother to play in the central position, and when he does, I just don't feel like he's got the ability to hold up and bring people in. Unless it's a ball through balls and he's running onto it, then he's really ineffectual in the middle. And I was disappointed to see him get bonked off the ball by Stones. I always started to think, has he lost his pace? We know he's 31 now. Your body does obviously start to catch up with you, but I remember Aubameyang from playing FIFA back in the day, and I would always choose Dortmund just because if you put the ball, it's like a cheat code, you put a through ball in, Aubameyang is getting that. His pace was like 100, and I'm just not seeing that anymore. His pace, his strength, even his desire looks a little bit waning today, so a poor performance really from Aubameyang again. I'm hoping to see Lacazette start in the game against Benfica, and I think that is why he was chosen today. But yeah, I'm going to give Aubameyang a humble 5 as well. In terms of substitutes, we had a couple. So the actual good thing to note was that the concussion substitution was used in an Arsenal match for the first time that I've seen, with Holding going off and Luis coming on. Luis came on, he done his thing, nothing out of the ordinary, just a simple 5 for him. Smith Rowe coming off at Odegaard, he looked better, he looked a little bit more lively, a bit more dynamic. He just has a lot more confidence in this team right now, and he looked like he could potentially make something happen and grab that last minute goal. So I'm going to go with, let's give him a 6 today. I thought it looked okay. So Pepe come off as well and Lacazette came on. Another signs of what he really gives to the team. As soon as he came on, he was involved, drawing fouls, getting us further up the pitch, holding it down. And you could see what we'd missed throughout the game. So I was pretty pleased to see him on there, but wasn't really on long enough to influence the game in a major way. So I'm just going to give him a 6 as well. We're throwing him up right now, 6, 6, 6. And we did have another substitute because of the concussion rule, which was Ceballos. He came on immediately. He showed why I personally prefer him to Al Neni, because he's just a footballer, he's cultured, he gets on it, and my man looks different every time he comes onto the pitch. I don't know how his hair grows so fast, but always new styles for Ceballos, and he came on and he showed his attacking presence immediately, almost put us through. He just looks very, very, very comfortable in an attacking role, and when we've got all those kind of fluid, dynamic players like Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka, Pepe above him, he's a perfect forward for that, because he does always invariably look for the forward ball. So I'm going to give him a 5 just because he was only on for a few minutes and didn't get to influence the game as much as I would have liked. So yeah, that's my player ratings. I feel like moving on to the next game, Benfica is going to be massive. As Arteta said, it's like a final for us. I think that we do have enough to get through that game, but you know, we do need to do better. And I just want to see maybe a Lacazette up there, and he almost feeling like the forgotten man at the moment. Martinelli, I understand why he's not being brought in at times, because he keeps breaking down and getting injured, so you have to be patient with him. He is a young guy, but I do want to see him play some part in the game against Benfica, because his passion and his ability, it kind of just pulls the team forward, and I think him and Tierney work so well on the left. I would actually be excited to see that play out in this game. So yeah, that's my player ratings for today. Obviously we've got Benfica next, so we'll be back on the channel doing our thing. So all I can say for that is like and subscribe, you know, hit that notification bell, make it happen. And yeah, look out for some more content and more guests coming onto the show real soon. So yeah man, it's your boy Dougie Fresh. Arsenal 0, oh how can I say that again? Arsenal 0 and Manchester City 1. Champions elect in my opinion, but we did our little thing, and we were at least competitive. We're at least trying to milk out positives on that performance. But yeah, that's how I feel. So peeps, I'm out. Take it easy.